And why I ask this question is because now when we are going and working with an agentic AI solutions where we're going to have a multiple agents. But the way you will be describing or the way you will be building your agent, maybe your one agent will be end up doing most of your work, and then other will be more of a supportive kind of an agent, right? So the basic principle around how you're looking to go and structure your event-driven architecture still will remain relevant even with the even with an agentic workflow, because you do not want to put into a system where you will be having one agent will be consuming most of your resources. That will be kind of having a adverse impact on your rest of the events, rest of the agent as well. And I think you also brought a really good point around whether you wanted to have the sequence order being maintained, okay, the way you will be going and generating those messages, because even broker do not uh, uh, mandate, like, okay, do not guarantee you that your event sequence will be maintained unless until you will be very specifically designing that for it, right?
Yep.
So it
Yep.
is being by default is more like to this event is being produced, and that event will be consumed unless until you're not specifically going with an with a design where he wanted to have this being partitioned in a way where I'm only able to go and receive this event in a very sequential order, or whatever the order by default is going to the random order, right? So
Yes.
uh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
think
sorry, just not to don't didn't mean to cut you off, but not also one other thing is that I mean, besides these, there's also two important things is the guarantees, right? At least once or exactly once. Like those are some of the delivery guarantees, and based on that, you will have to change. You'll have to make sure that you're adapting to your delivery styles, delivery guarantees, and build in the item potency in case there is a duplicate event. In case you're doing, at least one event processing, chances are you may have more than one event coming in, the duplicate events, right? So, uh, sorry, that's also one of the important considerations. I missed to mention that as well.
yeah, agree, and especially if you're working in building in a use case, and that's where the use case you're working around is a uh, customer service agent, right? And then in the customer service agent, you will be put a request for a refund. Let's say if you put a request for a refund, and that refund can be generated multiple times. So
Yes.
again, the basics principle will remain same what we had around
Yes.
event-driven architecture, whether you will be putting that event-driven architecture in that agentic
Yes.
AI world as well.
No,
So
you picked a great example because I one thing that we did not discuss about is what about humans, right? Human in the loop. Refunds are a critical is one of those, I would say, impacting use cases which will impact the revenue for an organization, right? An example of frauds and refunds is something that has to have a human in the loop, and those are exact use cases where you need to have a separate message bus where all the refund processing will go to a particular message bus which will be verified and accepted by a human to say if it's a genuine refund or not, because agents will take that decision and initiate a request for a refund, but handling the duplicates and issuing the refund has to be a human in the loop kind of a
exactly.
scenario.
So, yeah, we had a discussion. At least I had a discussion with one of my customers. More, I said, I was, and then if you're having anything related to finance, that
Yes.
should be get via human. That should not be autonomous. At least
Absolutely.
where we are not reached there yet. Where anything related to finance is where we can make autonomous, unless until we thought like, okay, it's just the dollar amount which do not matter to my organizations. So one thing, I think we are already 38 minutes in, so I will have few more questions for you. Okay. So when we think of like other considerations which comes really into discussions around the cost, right? Hey, when we were looking to go and build those event-driven architecture now, especially when we talk about building those event-driven architecture in the agentic world, everything which you will be going and producing is being consumed by someone that is in form of token, right? So that will eventually kind of translate huge cost. So
Yes.
how you think, love, what are best practices or what are things we can think of when we are building event-driven architecture, especially to kind of optimize in the cost front.